Welcome to the Keystone Opportunity Center 2020 Annual Banquet, Virtual Edition. My name is Trish Snedden, and I'm the board president. But this year, I've also become a team member of the Pandemic Alternative Solution Brainstorming Team. Wow, what a year it's been. Not one that we expected. Anyone who's been involved in helping with planning and logistics for an organization has had a very challenging year, not just us. This has been a test of our minds and our bodies and our spirit. I am so proud to report to you that Keystone Opportunity Center has been able to continue to provide its support services in the community throughout the pandemic. In a little while, Arlene Daly, our executive director, will be reporting to you about some of the different ways that the organization has adapted to the needs of working in a pandemic. From a financial standpoint, there have been a lot of challenges, but we are so grateful that we're living and working in such a supportive, generous community. So many of you realized that the needs of Keystone Opportunity Center were actually going to grow and that we were going to have more services we would need to provide as a result of the pandemic. Those of you who have been able to have continued to support us with money, with food, with fresh produce, and with services. We are so grateful for that continued support. Keystone Opportunity Center was able to apply for and receive funds from the Paycheck Protection Program. That was an important support for us to be able to continue to pay our staff, even if they're working in virtual capacities. It has been quite the journey to reinvent ourselves as a more virtual and contact-free organization. We are so grateful to our staff who have had to be incredibly flexible and creative to reinvent themselves and to be able to find new ways to provide our services to our community. So far, our federal funding has remained intact, except for the funds for our citizenship classes. So we're looking into alternative funding streams for that particular program. It remains to be seen how funding is going to look for 2021. In particular, we're concerned about the state funding. It's a concern immediately, and it's going to be a major concern for our future funding. We know that revenues are down for the state, and we're waiting to see how our program funding is going to be impacted. Because we know that this situation is not going to come to an end anytime soon, Arlene Daly has been working hard to investigate and secure alternate funding sources, especially grants, so that we can keep our programs going into the future. We also received a very generous bequest from Fred and Josephine McConnell, which came at just the right time to help us to keep our programs going. These folks were local farmers who had a passion to help feed people throughout their entire lives. And with this gift now to Keystone, that passion can continue through our organization. We all miss being able to see each other in person and to enjoy each other's smiles, besides just through a screen. We're doing the best that we can, in spite of not being in direct contact with the people who we typically serve. But we're doing our best to keep ourselves healthy and virus-free so that we can continue to support the the needs in our community. So on behalf of Keystone Opportunity Center, we would like to thank all of you for being here. And in particular, we'd like to send a shout out to our sponsors who have generously supported this now virtual banquet, and a heartfelt thank you to our dedicated banquet team volunteers who spent their time to acquire the wonderful auction items that are available right now on our website for you to bid on. We would like to thank all of you with all our hearts for your attendance at our annual banquet tonight. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope you enjoy the rest of tonight's program.
I know many of you have been wondering, and some of you have called to find out what exactly Keystone has been able to do in the community during the pandemic. It's been challenging, but boy, our staff sure rose to the occasion. We remade our business model practically overnight. Take a look. Here's a little glimpse into all the changes that we made so that we could continue to serve everyone in need.
Keystone's food pantry is critically important when meeting the needs of those in the community who suffer with food insecurity. One of the food pantry's programs is Fresh for All, a cooperative effort with Philabundance to supply fresh produce to the community. Increasing demand during the pandemic, coupled with Keystone's concern for safety, meant they had to completely reinvent pickup procedures.
We came up with this idea that we would pack the boxes for them so they could drive through, and we've never had more people. I think we used to serve around 130 to 150 families, and now we're up to packing 200 boxes.
Grace Bible Church of Souderton graciously allows Keystone and the volunteers to use their parking lot to stage and box the donated food to minimize the wait time. Local residents in nearly 200 vehicles receive their food within a 2-hour window.
These great volunteers, they're fabulous. I mean, we used to have maybe 15 to 20 volunteers, and now we have sometimes up to 30. The people in the community are just coming and helping, which is fantastic.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day.
There has also been an increased demand for items at Keystone's food pantry. Once again, the pandemic has complicated things for both delivery of goods and pickup by local residents.
When COVID hit, we had to step up. We had to do more because more people were in need. What we decided to do was allow a one-day drop-off donation on Mondays from 10 until 1 p.m. to allow for individuals who wanted to drop off food, housing supplies, or even personal cash contributions to do so. And that way we could quarantine that for 4 days before we would then give it out to our clients in need.
Rather than people coming to the food pantry for their monthly food pickup, teams of volunteers are delivering the food with a contactless knock and drop delivery, which has not only been safer, but helps save clients the fuel costs to travel to the food pantry. Keystone Opportunity Center is committed to adult education. Fortunately, technology has allowed many of these classes to continue, even though students can't gather in classrooms.
Our community now has to be online, and it was a tough challenge for a lot of students.
Okay, and you're doing great. You're seeing that it may just
We're
be a break.
increasing the availability for mornings and evening classes. We think in education, time away from their education spells disaster. And as they're motivated, we want to make sure that we can keep this program going.
Due to the economic fallout from COVID-19, significant numbers of residents of Montgomery and Bucks counties have lost work, and some have, as a result, lost housing.
And you are?
I'm Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. I'm just going to take a little bit of information from you. The front desk.
Increasing numbers have resorted to living and sleeping in their cars.
Montgomery.
Montgomery County. Okay. How long have you been homeless?
It's been about 5 weeks.
5 weeks. And have you been in your car the whole time?
No, I've been sleeping on friends' couches, but that kind of ran out, so now I'm down to living in my car.
Yeah, that's hard. You've been couch surfing. All right, all right. Anybody else?
When Keystone Opportunity Center becomes aware of one of these residents, they seek to determine the extent of their needs.
Literally, my clothes are shot. I have a few things, but washing them out in the sink in the bathroom, and they're pretty
at
bad.
friends' houses.
Yeah.
You can't always get to the laundromat. Okay.
Through this discovery process, they determine which needs can be met through Keystone's resources.
Okay, and how about with gas?
I was lucky to make it here. I'm totally unempty.
Oh dear. And food?
Pretty hungry.
Pretty hungry. Okay. All right.
So I'm going to give you $25 to Giant as well, a gift card for there. So you can put some gas in your car.
Through this discovery process, they determine which needs can be met through Keystone's resources. Keystone partners with HUD, Your Way Home, and Housing Link to help get people off the streets quickly and into their own homes. Keystone also manages 24 low-cost rental homes in the community.
So Barbara, it is heartbreaking just to hear your situation, and I hope this gives you a little bit of comfort to know that we're here to help support you and to connect you, especially during COVID, to some resources so that you're not calling this one and this one and this one. We can
Local businesses, churches, and residents have partnered with Keystone by donating items that provide specific relief and comfort to those in this difficult situation.
Also able, I have some funding and I could put you up in a hotel for a few nights. How would that be?
That would be fabulous.
Okay. So I'm going to go in and do that right now. Just stay right here and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, Barbara?
Yes,
All right.
thank you.
Keystone is grateful to everyone that has increased their support to meet the needs of the community during this crisis. Please remember, adequately meeting these needs is dependent upon your support.
Next up is the E. Richard Ashley Corporate Partners Award. Rich Ashley was a well-known business leader in our community and our executive director who preceded me. Very big shoes to fill. This year's E. Richard Ashley Corporate Partners Award goes to Penn Valley Gas for a lifetime of giving and a very special gift they made to us recently.
My grandparents started Penn Valley Gas in 1957, so this is our 63rd year. From the very beginning, it was all about relationships, so they wanted to faithfully care for people, both customers, be reliable, dependable, fair, do excellent work, but then also they really cared about the employees that they had. My pop-up would often say, if you treat your employees right, they treat your customers right. We're very driven to serve other people. We look for ways to do that. We're committed to long-term relationships. So something like Keystone's valuable to us because we're not in it for a quick decision today, but we'd like to see long-term, not only relationship, but benefit. And so we look to partner with places like Keystone. Today, still the same thing. It's built on principles in the Bible. So integrity, serving others, honesty, doing excellent work, putting others first, being generous. That's sort of what we're about people and relationships at the core, but wanting to do reliable work. We think business matters to God, and like Jeremiah says, seek the welfare of your city. So God has us here in Telford for a purpose. We care about our neighbors, and an organization like Keystone is able to be hands and feet at that better than we can. We can serve our customers and be generous to them, but they can help our neighbors who aren't customers. So this spring with COVID, we realized like a lot of our neighbors would be in need, especially with kids not in school for good meals. And talking to Malcolm, we reached out to him and said, hey, what do you guys need? How can you keep operating this month if donations are off? And so we view that as we're all members of the community. What part can we bring to it? We're able to support it financially. That's the gift God's given us. And the other part that's valuable is being able to do it. And so that's why we look to partner with somebody like Keystone. We have our part to do, they have their part to do. And as much as we can enable them, we trust them to use those resources well. On behalf of Penn Valley Gas, my family and our coworkers, I accept the Rich Eichley Award. We appreciate that and look forward to partnering with Keystone to do even more for our community in the future.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Friend, Director of Resource Development at the Keystone Opportunity Center. I just want to take a moment to talk to you about Sleep Out, our annual event that traditionally involves groups of youths coming to the Zion Mennonite Church to sleep out overnight in cardboard structures, in tents and in cars. But 2020 is different. We'll be doing a virtual sleep out, so please be on the lookout for information about the virtual sleep out after the banquet event. But to spice things up and make things a little interesting this evening, we got a couple of Sleep Out alumni who are going to ask you the question, do you think you're smarter than a sleep outer?
My name is Joe DiPolo, and I'm a Sleep Out alumni, and I'm here to see if you're smarter than a sleep outer. So question 1, how many people live in poverty in the United States? Is it A, 5 million, B, 12 million, C, 27 million, or D, 40 million? All right, time's up. The correct answer is 40 million. There are so many people that live in poverty in the United States of America. For all those who make less than the federal government official poverty threshold, which for a family of 4 is about 25,000. That is what qualifies to be in poverty. People working at the minimum age, people holding down several jobs, seniors living on fixed incomes, and wage earners suddenly out of work all fall under this category. Millions of families everywhere, from our immediate community in Bucks County and Montgomery County to cities like Philadelphia and beyond, are in this condition.
Now we're talking about our Community Champion Awards. First up is the Community Champion of Education Award. This year it goes to 2 Rotary groups which got together to provide us an amazing grant to continue our very special program of senior ESL. That's the Souderton-Telford Rotary and the Harleysville Rotary.
The Souderton-Telford Rotary Club is a community service organization. We've been in this community for nearly 100 years. In fact, our centennial project is a multi-million-dollar renovation of this very park. We have a dynamic club full of people that are extremely engaged in the community, who love to help, who love to give money to help and do hands-on work. But we need to know what the need is, and people like Keystone have their hands on the pulse.
The theme of Rotary is actually service above self. We've helped the Keystone Opportunity Center with different educational activities that they had.
We live in a place where, for example, English is not the primary language of every resident. Keystone knows that and helps children and their parents solve that problem by teaching English as a second language classes. And the Rotary Club, through a financial contribution, was able to make that happen.
Seeing for myself a lot of the activities that Keystone does kind of enlightened me to some of the things that you kind of overlook in the community.
I'd just like to say thank you to the Keystone Opportunity Center for allowing Souderton-Telford Rotary Club to be the champions of education this year. More than the award itself, it's our pleasure to be able to help the organization in any way we can. So we thank you.
On behalf of the Rotary Club of Harleysville, I gladly accept this Community Champion for Education Award from the Keystone Opportunity Center.
Hey everyone, I'm Naman. I'm a Sleep Out alumni, and I want to know if you are smarter than a sleep outer. So here's a question to see if you are. The poverty in the USA is equal to the population of A, California and Alaska combined, B, the state of New York, Florida, and Delaware combined, C, double Texas, D, quadruple Pennsylvania, E, none of the above, or F, all of the above. And that's time. The correct answer is F, all of the above.
I'm Alan Raisman, Manager of Advancement for Keystone Opportunity Center. The online auction will take place tonight as well as through Monday, October 12th at 9 p.m. Please don't leave the program this evening, but come back to our website, keystoneopportunity.org/RSVP, and bid high, bid often, and bid through October 12th at 9 p.m. Thank you.
Now it's time to announce one of our community champions this evening. This is the Community Champion for Housing. Congratulations to Swingley United Church of Christ. For 15 years they have been involved with the work of Keystone. They were involved our interfaith hospitality program right from the get-go. And even today, in 2020, congregation members are out there helping Keystone with our housing properties 365 days a year.
Zwingli has been involved with Keystone Opportunity Center for over 20 years, 20 of those years with the Interfaith Hospitality Network. And since then, we still support Keystone, not only through our donations, but also through things like Sleep Out for Hunger and supporting the food pantry. It's been a unique opportunity to spend that time with Keystone, and I think it has been rewarding for everybody in the congregation.
I was on the original board of Indian Valley Housing Corporation. I'm proud to say Zwingli was the first church to host families.
It would be a matter of meeting the people, bringing them into the church, giving them a room, making sure that meals were provided for them every evening, making sure that they had transportation if they needed transportation to jobs or job interviews or whatever it may be. And so the volunteers covered a gamut of responsibilities.
The housing network and Keystone generally aim to be a hand up, not a handout. So it was always the case that the case managers would identify with the clients those items which were going to help them work towards self-sufficiency. But it was nice to see that partnership in play, because Ed and I both know over the years the Keystone people pretty well. And so there was an active dialogue about, so what can we do? You know, what's next here?
I think it's a great honor to be selected as a champion of housing for Keystone Opportunity Center.
This train set from Nicholas Smith Trains is perfect for any child or train enthusiast. Bid high, bid often, and this train set could be yours.
Another one of our amazing auction items is this beautiful rug from A.W. Bergies & Sons. Take a look at this detail on our website and see if this is a rug that you could use in your home.
Now we're here at question 3. What ratio of children in America live in poverty? Is it A, almost 1 in 5 kids, B, almost 1 in 7 kids, C, almost 1 in 13 kids, or D, about 1 in every 125 kids? All right, time's up. The correct answer is A, almost 1 in 5 kids today live in poverty.
Now it's time for one more of our Community Champions for 2020. A new award, the Community Champion for Neighborhood Mobilization, which goes to A&T Subaru, who've been long and valued partners for Keystone since 2013 through many initiatives, including their annual Share the Love program.
My name is Jeff Allen from A&T Subaru. Our philosophy in the community is to give back. We'd like our community to buy vehicles from us and service them here, so we take in consideration they spent their time, their energy, their money here. We had to give back to the community and help out. In 2013, Subaru reached out to us as Subaru retailers in the country to connect with a local charity that could use our help. We got connected up with Keystone Opportunity, and it's been a great relationship. They have people that need some help in the community, and we feel that it was our obligation as a community service to help out and take care of them. Over the years, just over $71,000 have been raised.
So for the last 2 years, we've had a celebration of cars. It's combined between both of our stores here. Just another way to get the community involved. We clear out both dealerships, the lots. We invite customers to come on in and show us their vehicles, show us their show car. The registration fees, all the proceeds are go ahead, and we donate that to Keystone Opportunity and also Dogtown. So for me personally, it's a great event, something I really enjoy. I'm very passionate about cars, very passionate about our customers coming through.
Because of COVID, unfortunately, we couldn't have our car show celebration of cars in the fall this year. So we elected to do a fundraiser, and we took a portion of the proceeds of the sale during the month of July and donated that to Keystone Opportunity Center.
I've been here pretty much all my life. I grew up with a lot of these people in the area, and I just want to take care of them.
We are so excited to accept the Community Champion of Neighborhood Mobilization Award from Keystone Opportunity Center.
Breaking in with another auction item. Bid high, bid often for this American Girl doll, Felicity. She can be yours or for someone that you love.
Here's another auction item that invites your bidding. I'm the one who's introducing it because it was hand painted by my 90-year-old mother. It's scenes of Souderton Park, painted on a traditional cheese box. This features scenes of the park down to the tiniest detail. Where the edge comes out, it actually mimics the stonework that you'll see around the edge of the park.
Announcing another community champion. This time, the champion for food. Congratulations to KMRD Partners Incorporated. Since 2013, they've been bringing more than 500 pounds of ham to Keystone's food pantry over the holiday season. Thank you to all of the employees who get together and have been giving so much for the past 7 years.
I'm Kevin McPoyle with KMRD Partners, and we are a full-service property and casualty and employee benefits insurance agency. We connected the dots and said, we could probably do more for people if we took the money that we were spending on cards and simply pushed it to something meaningful. So we took the money almost to the dollar that we were spending on cards and bought hams. And then we were looking for a place to go with them, and Keystone Opportunity came to the front, and they were more than happy to take them.
By getting the employees involved made it even, I thought, more special because they got to understand that even in the local community, in a suburban area, they didn't understand that folks were in need.
And I knew we were doing the right thing when the very first year we were able to purchase 250 hams. And when we got to Keystone, they said, this is great. And before we told them how many we had, they said, we have 250 families that need food. I'm like, okay, this is ordained. This is the way it's supposed to be.
It feels great. And it also feels great for us to do it on that scale. For us, thousands of pounds of meat a year and over a 6-week period during a time where folks want a special meal. Eating out of a can is not fun during the Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So it feels great.
I would just challenge organizations to be part of your community. These are where your employees work. These are your families. These are people that you're supporting now. You can do more, and you'll be amazed at what comes back to you by just saying yes. It's not as hard as you think.
We're not doing it to get the recognition. We just want to be part of the community that we live in, and we want to help the community as much as the community helps us. So it feels awesome.
Thank you for joining us this evening for the virtual banquet. And I would like to specifically thank all of our sponsors who continued to provide us with their sponsorship support, even though the banquet became virtual, and even though they've had to adapt and adjust to the pandemic themselves. A reminder to everyone to please visit our auction website. The site will be open until October 12th. Please take a look at some of the very interesting items that are available. We would be happy to see your name on some of those bids. Your donations are what allows Keystone Opportunity Center to continue to provide our support services throughout the Indian Valley and beyond, so that we're not just dependent on federal and state grants, but so we have the flexibility to meet needs that are local to us. You can follow our activities on social media and on our website, keystoneopportunity.org. I'd like to remind everyone that we actually post an updated list every week on Fridays to our website and our other social media, letting you know what our immediate needs are, such as new household items that are needed for the families we help to house, and items for our students who are having to depend on more technology to support their education from home, and office items that help us to do the administrative work that often isn't covered by our government grants. You are appreciated. So keep yourselves healthy and well. And we thank you with all of our hearts for your support. Thank you for attending this evening.